think about this last weekend's fight with Rose?
Oh, good fight, you know. Rose was very well prepared and she was doing very good in the first round.
Yeah.
But guys, like
that girl
Jessica
can drop,
she did her job. This is what she's doing, you know. She's not very good technical fighter, but she can throw very loopy and strong punches, and her takedown slams are so good. And
By the way, we think you're one of the best technical fighters out there.
Yeah, but you know, Rose did very, very well. She did very good, but you must really be careful with Andrade. So
yes, definitely. We don't miss a fight.
Yeah, definitely.
She's on the Kimura, and you can't slam if you stick to the Kimura. No matter where she goes, she will have that Kimura. The Kimura stays locked in. Still got it. That's what
Jessica didn't tap. Guys, come on. Same people said about me that I tap, but I was out. I didn't know what was going on, and like, guys, you don't know how it is to train, fight, and how it is like how our nerve system works. So, guys, come on, come on.
When people use the argument like, hey, you know, Frankie was a team player, he took one for the team when I think it was UFC 222. Max had gotten hurt. You still went ahead and fought. What was that? Basically, you know, I guess your own personal argument as well, or do you feel like your career stands on its own, or were there other reasons why you felt like you should be the guy?
I think all of it combined. You know, my body of work. You know, what I've done in the past, what I've done for UFC, opportunities that I may have, you know, I could have waited for, I didn't, and stepped in and fought. So I think the combination of all that stuff. You know, led me to get another title shot. You know, I've been doing the right things in this sport since day one, and never shied away from a challenge, or never shied away from an opponent that wanted me to. So I feel like this is definitely meant to be.
The one part that kind of irks me a little bit about all of this is like, oh, you know, we're repaying Frankie for taking that fight against Brian Ortega on short notice and risking his title shot. Well, the thing is that he lost that fight, so you can't really pay him back for that. Like, the whole point of that fight was to see who the new #1 contender was going to be. And the guy, you know, we're comparing a 17-fight winning streak to a 1-fight winning streak. Like, if you just want to say, look, the timing doesn't work out here, Frankie's the next best guy, you know, he's a legend, cool. But this idea that, like, oh, he deserves to be repaid for taking that fight and losing that fight convincingly, to me, doesn't fly. It makes no sense. Because then now you're opening up this precedent where everyone's like, hey, I did you this solid, why don't you pay me back for this? No, like, the whole point of this game is to win and advance. That's the part that bothers me here.
Right, the Stipe thing I can do something about. Right, I can beat him up about.
But does it
you
get
know,
you?
that's right, the best. That's that's the best, right? Stipe can say, "Oh, he's an idiot and he's this and he's that," but then I can just kick his ass again.
But does
right?
it get you?
Ultimately, I had the last laugh in the whole thing with me and Stipe, and I get to do it again. So that's kind of how that thing plays out.
But when you hear that, like instantly when you hear it, does it like make your blood move a little faster, or is it just kind of whatever?
Well, you know, we're kind of like, we're fighters, we're a different breed, you know. We're like, oh, you motherfucker. Like, right away, I'm like, oh, Stipe, you son of a bitch. But I like it, though, because first time he's like all chummy and he's all quiet and he doesn't want to build a fight. Now at least he's like being vocal about how he feels, you know, like, be vocal. Tell me how you feel and tell me how much you want to kick my ass, so that when I kick your ass again, then you're like in a dark room, you know, like just done. Like, he's gonna be done. Like, after this one, it'll be very hard for Stipe to get back to where he once was, because this one's gonna break him. Because I know what the second Jones fight did to me. It almost broke me. Yeah. But all my life experiences, you know, my father, my cousin, my daughter, my roommate, all those life experiences allowed me to keep things in perspective, whereas he really hasn't had to do that. So when he loses in this spot, I don't think he'll be able to recover from it. It's gonna be too much.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys? Just thought I'd give you all a quick update. I know a lot of viewers have been trying to get in contact with me and stuff like that. Before I sort of done a video, just tell everyone how I was going. I wanted to see where I was at. And we got good news this morning that the infection's starting to go down now, so that's good, because it was pretty nasty before. Like the infection was pretty bad, cellulitis, bacterial infection, and that was my ankle, foot, and leg. Was just very, very swollen, and the inflammation was pretty bad, and the infection was pretty bad too. But we're worried about it being in the tendons. We got the message this morning that it's not in any of the tendons, so that's very, very good. So it'll be all smooth sailing from now. I think I'm still getting fevers here and there, but that's just normal. The worst is done, which is good. But I still need to stay a couple more days, which is unfortunate. I want to go home and see the family. Of course, I've been away for so long. I was expected to be back a few days ago, but obviously this needs to be sorted. The hospital's been unreal here in Chile. They're looking after me. They've got physios like with inflammation, trying to get my feet going, and obviously they've got even nutritionists looking after me. But I haven't really worried too much about that. I've been enjoying the food a little too much, but I've got a wedding to go to, and I've got a best man suit that I need to fit into, so I'm going to try and clean things up. I'll give you a look at my feet. It was a lot more nastier than this, but it still looks pretty yuck, I guess. That side's probably the good side, and then so you can see that pretty fat and red, but it was like up to here and just red and even fatter. It was pretty disgusting, but but anyway, again, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. I'll be home soon to celebrate, and on to the next.
Back in the day, and I feel this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that we ever made, was at the American Kickboxing Academy. You talk about everything working out the right way, but do you remember when I went down to Tim Crater's gym down there in Lafayette back in the day? Tim said, "I have this great kid."
That day I double-legged you?
Yeah, right. Hey, that's like running through a brick wall. But you did kind of piece me up with those left hands a little bit. I was like, yo, this kid can box. I was like, this dude can box. He's small, but he can really box. Tim called me and he goes, "Can Dustin come up and train with you guys in San Jose?" And I said, yes. But then Bob Cook didn't pull the trigger fast enough. And then you ended up going down to the American Top Team, which is not you going as a secondary option. You probably would have did them both. But think about that now. If you came back then, when we first talked about it, this had to be 2012. You were just getting into the UFC, WEC. You and Khabib would have been teammates. And then the whole journey may have been completely different. It's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, man. It's for as big as people think, MMA is, it's worldwide, but it's a small circle. It's a small community. Everybody knows everybody. And yeah, I forgot about that, man. I forgot that we were talking to you guys about me coming over there, because I couldn't wrestle. I needed to wrestle, man.
And you went to American Top Team and completely rounded out that game.
The infection's starting to go down now, so that's good, because it was pretty nasty. I'll give you a look at my feet. It was a lot more nastier than this, but it still looks pretty yuck, I guess. That side's probably the good side. And then, so you can see that pretty fat and red, but it was like up to here.
I'll take it from here, nurse.
No!
How about your